Hey all, welcome to Homeschool, and we are with the 11th part on a chapter called Light Reflection and Refraction. So we studied entire things about the reflection, spherical mirrors, image formation in the spherical mirror, everything we discussed. And we started our refraction. We finished introduction part on refraction, and then we have seen the laws of refraction where we have studied the Snell's law. After that, we also discussed refractive index in detail. So this was the concept over already. So if you want to watch the videos on all these concepts, the links are provided in the description where you can click the link and get the clarity on all the concepts in a detailed way. So coming to the today's session, and we are with one of the important topic of the chapter, that is spherical lenses. See, we have already finished spherical mirrors, concave mirror, convex mirror, right? And spherical lenses is more or less similar to spherical mirrors only. See, whatever concept you studied in case of spherical mirrors, see their image formation, drawing ray diagrams, everything we will discuss in spherical lenses also. Clear? So here also we have concave lens and convex lens. So before going to them, let us try to find out what do you mean by a lens. So if I ask you what do you mean by a lens, what is your answer? Say before that, let me try to revise about mirrors. Say what is a mirror, guys? So mirror is something where one side is polished, the other side is free, right? Spherical mirror I am talking. See, it is a curved mirror. It is curved inside. Yes or no? And one side of the mirror is polished. The other side is curved inside. If it is curved inside, we call it as concave mirror. If it is curved outside, we call it as convex mirror. Right? So mirror is some glass piece, one side is polished, the other side is curved inside or outside. So this is what we call concave mirror and convex mirror. Similarly, coming to the lens, it is also made up of glass itself, where at least one side is curved. At least one side of a lens is curved. Okay, the other side is not polished. Okay, it is left free. It is left free. It has two surfaces. Okay, front one, back one. Okay, so among front surface and back surface, at least if one surface is curved, then it is called lenses. Okay, so I am giving you a definition for lens. What is a lens? It is a glass. Okay, lens is a glass. It is made up of a glass where at least one surface is curved. Such materials are called as lenses. So lenses are widely used in a day-to-day life, right? See, most of the things we use in a day-to-day life, like in the spectacles and lenses, are used by various purposes, right? So, the type of lens that we normally use in a day-to-day life is spherical lenses. Okay, lenses are actually of different types. Got to know? Say we have something like lens of this category. Observe carefully. You see, this can be called as a lens. Say it has two surfaces. One is this is plain, but the other side is curved. Yes or no? Curved outside, right? It is curved outside. So this type of a lens, we actually call it as plano convex lens. Okay, this is plano convex lens. Clear? And you watch the other type of a lens here. See, one side is plain. Okay, it is not even polished. If one surface If one side of a glass is polished, then that is called as a mirror. So this is the difference between lens and mirror, guys. In the mirror, not even a single side is polished. Okay, see here, this side is plain and the other side is curved outside, right? That's the reason it's called plano-convex lens. Okay, and you observe here, one side is plain. Clear? The other side is curved inwards. It is curved inwards. So this type of a lens, we actually call it as plano-concave lens. Right? And now I will show you the lens that we study in our syllabus. See here, it has two sides. This side is also curved outside. Even this side is curved outside. Right? This is curved outside and this side is also curved outside. Such a lens is called as double convex lens. Okay, double convex, because both sides are convex in nature, that is curved outside. If something is curved outside, then it is called as convex. And observe this one carefully. You see here, it also has two sides. This is curved inwards and this side is also curved inwards, right? Then this lens is actually called as double concave lens. Double concave lens, right? So these are the two lenses widely used in our day-to-day life for various, appliances or in various equipments. Clear? So instead of calling double convex lens, I can simply call it as convex lens. And this one I can simply call it as concave lens. Right? And there are many types of lenses, guys. See, 4 different types I just mentioned you so that you get some clarity on lenses. That's it. Among the 4 types, you no need to remember these guys also. But you should definitely remember these 2 varieties of lenses. Right? See, here both the sides of a glass is actually curved outwards. Such a lens is called double convex. So instead of calling every time the double word, you can exclude that word and you can just call it as convex lens. Say if both the sides are curved inwards, they are called as double concave lens. Instead of this, you can just call it as concave lens. Like this, these 2 are actually called as spherical lenses. What do we call them? Spherical lenses. Okay, because not even one side, here both the sides are curved. Okay, when do you call something as a lens? At least one side, among the 2 sides, at least one side is curved, you call that as lens. But when do you call something as a spherical lens? When both sides are curved. If they are curved outwards, it's a convex lens. If both sides are curved inwards, then it is a concave lens. Okay, so these 2 are called as spherical lenses. So we are going to talk everything about these 2 varieties of lenses. Okay, how does an image formed in a convex lens and how does an image formed here? What is the type of image? What is the nature of image? All properties of these 2 lenses we are going to discuss. Okay, and the discussion is actually similar to the spherical mirrors that you have studied. So before you watch this particular session, make sure that you are perfect with spherical mirrors. Once you are perfect with each and every concept of spherical mirrors, then this is nothing. This is just a piece of cake. You can easily understand this. Here, everybody? Fine. And next thing I would like to talk about is, let us see the difference between convex lens and concave lens. Clear? So let me write the differences between convex lens and concave lens. You can note it down in your book. knowing these differences is actually very, very important. So one basic difference is, you can say that, in case of convex lens, both sides are curved inwards or outwards? Yes, definitely outwards. Yes or no? Both sides are curved outwards. Say this is what we represent convex lines. This side is curved outward and this side is also curved outwards. Okay, so refraction happens either this side or this side, right? Fine. And what about our concave lens? It's just opposite. What we can write here? Both sides are curved inwards, isn't it? So how do we represent that? This is how we represent concave lens. So this is first point of difference. And coming to the second point of difference, this is very important, guys. Okay, center of convex lens is thicker. Center of convex lens is thicker. Okay, and edges are thinner. Okay, so what do you mean by this point? See, I have a lens here actually. This is how a lens looks like. You see, both sides are actually, not polished. Okay, say this is what a lens here. Actually, this is a convex lens that I have. And if I see the center, if I touch the center, this is actually thicker. But as I move my fingers to the edges, it seems that edges are thinner. Okay, at center, you have certain thickness. You can feel a certain thickness. But when you keep your fingers at the edges, here actually edges are covered with this plastic thing. Okay, otherwise when the edges are not covered, when you take a particular lens, you feel that. When you keep two fingers at the center, you feel certain thickness. But at the same time, when you keep two fingers at the edge, you feel it is much thinner compared to the center. Okay, so that's what we mean by center of a lens. When you touch, it is thicker, but edges are, thinner. You can understand very clearly with this representation, right? Center is like, very fat. It looks fat. But edges, you see, edges is very narrow, right? So center is thick, edges are thin. Clear? And opposite for concave lens. So what I can write here? Center of a lens is thinner, but edges are thicker. Clear? Say if it is a concave lens, this is not a concave lens, it's actually a convex lens. And if I touch at the center, you feel the center is very, very thin. Okay, very narrow. But when you keep the fingers at the edges, you feel that the glass is little thick at the edge. Okay, that the lens is little thick at the edge. So this is what we mean by this particular point. So try to understand this point of difference. Okay, so here center is thick, edges are thin. Okay, center is thick, edges, if you touch it, is thin. Okay, the thickness is very little, but the thickness is very high at the center. And opposite in case of concave, center is very thin. Okay, center is very thin, but edges are thick. Clear? Fine. And coming to the third point of difference, just try to note it down. You will understand this point little later. Okay, and convex lens is actually called as converging lens. Okay, that means, whenever a rays passes through a lens, refraction takes place. Whenever rays passed onto the mirror, which process took place? Reflection took place. There we studied everything about reflection. But whenever, the light rays passes through a lens, what happens? Refraction takes place. Clear? Say converging lens in the sense what? After refraction, the refracted rays, okay, converge. They meet at one point. Okay, the refracted ray actually meets at one point. After refraction through a convex lens. That's the reason it is called as converging lens. Clear? Whereas the concave lens is called as diverging lens. It is called diverging lens. That means, the rays actually diverge. The rays diverge from a particular point. So the refracted rays diverge. They go away from each other from a particular point. That's the reason. That's what we call divergent. Right? All these basics we know. So since divergence of refracted rays are seen here, it is called diverging lens. Here convergence, that is meeting of refracted rays are seen here. So it is called converging lens. Do you remember which mirror is called converging mirror and which mirror was called diverging mirror? Exactly opposite, right? Say in case of mirrors, concave mirror was called as, converging mirror. Converging mirror. Whereas convex mirror was called as diverging mirror. If you see the reflection, all the reflected rays meet at one point in case of concave mirror. Whereas the reflected rays go away from one point in case of convex mirror, right? It's exactly opposite. See, whatever phenomenon we studied in case of concave mirror becomes equal to, they are actually similar with convex lens. The image formation, here we studied 6 cases of image formation. Yes or no? So in case of convex lens image formation also, we will have 6 cases. Always your convex lenses properties or its image formation and everything is almost equal to concave mirror. Okay, concave mirror. Whereas concave lens shows similarity with convex mirror. Opposite, guys. Okay, in case of convex mirror, we have seen 2 cases for the image formation, and convex mirror is also a diverging mirror, right? That's why its nature looks similar to the concave lens. But in the mirror, reflection is the phenomenon we will see. In case of lenses, refraction is the phenomenon we will see. That's it. Okay. So rest of the story, drawing, ray diagrams and everything is actually similar. Similarity you will find between concave mirror and convex lens. Similarity is there between convex mirror and concave lens. Right? If you can remember this point, no, it is very much beneficial for you to remember various things later. Clear? And now we will study what are the terms that you need to know in case of these spherical lenses. Say in case of spherical mirrors, you studied the terms like pole, center of curvature, aperture, right? And the radius, focal length, focus. Say all these terms are there here also. Okay, let us look at those terms. We call them as components of spherical lenses here. So students, can you tell me how many spheres are possible from the lenses? It may be a convex lens or a concave lens. How many spheres you can make out of a particular lens? Say, let me take convex lens first. Right? So how do you represent a convex lens? Something like this. Right? So this is a convex lens. Remember, from this particular side, this is actually a part of sphere, right? This particular part is actually a part of sphere. Say that sphere, this is my imaginary sphere, right? This is a part of this sphere. And coming to this side, this particular bulged side, this is a part of another sphere. Yes or no? So like this, actually 2 spheres we can able to imagine from a particular lens. Okay, so this curve is out of this sphere and this curve is a part of this sphere. right? And can you tell me center of this particular sphere, right? This is sphere number 1, and this particular center I will represent with C. What do I call it as? Center of curvature. Okay, like this one more center is possible, no doubt. This is another sphere possible, and this particular part is, this particular thing is a part of this sphere. So this particular sphere also has a center, and this also I will call it as center of curvature. Okay, and let me call this center of curvature as C1 and this as C2. Clear? Similarly, in case of concave lens also, two spheres are possible, right? Two spheres are possible. One is this particular side is a part of this sphere, and this particular side is a part of this sphere, right? And here one center is possible, here another center is possible. Call this as C1, call this as C2. Clear? So the first point that I will write is, two center of curvatures. Two center of curvatures are possible, okay, for both concave as well as convex lenses. Possible for, let me write, spherical lenses. Spherical lenses. Okay, what do you mean by center of curvature, right? Center of curvature is nothing but center of sphere. Center of a sphere in which the surface of a lens makes a particular part. Okay, this surface is a part of this sphere, this surface is a part of this sphere. So center of such a sphere is called center of curvature. In the mirror also similarly we studied, right? But there you had only one center of curvature, but here you will observe two center of curvatures. Clear? And the next point is very important here, that is optical center. There is something called optical center. Optical center is nothing but geometric center of a lens. Okay, exactly the middle, the central point of a lens is called as geometric center. It is represented with a letter O. Okay, remember this is very important. Center of a lens is called what? Optical center. It is actually geometrical center, like geometrical center in the sense center which is there inside a lens, inside a glass, exactly at a center. Okay, so that is optical center. So this is what our optical center, and it is represented with the letter O. Clear? And now if I draw a line, if I draw an imaginary line joining two curvatures, two center of curvatures with optical center, this line we call it as principal axis. Okay, so here also if I join two center of curvatures with optical center, that imaginary line is our principal axis. So the next particular component or term that you have to remember is principal axis. So how do you define principal axis? An imaginary line passing through, okay, passing through center of curvatures. I am calling center of curvatures because you have two center of curvatures, and optical center. Optical center is called principal axis. Okay, fine. And the next point is the refracting surface of a lens. This side can refract, this particular side also can refract. So the refracting area of a lens is called aperture. So the next word is aperture. So what do you mean by aperture here? Refracting surface or area of a lens is called aperture. Clear? So these are the few important terms and components that you have to remember in case of spherical lenses. So make a point that two center of curvatures are possible here, because out of one lens you can imagine two spheres, right? Each sphere will have its own center, right? So this point is very important to remember. Another thing is the geometric center, exactly the central point of a lens inside, is called optical center. And later, imaginary line passing through center of curvatures and optical center is principal axis, right? So these are the three important words. And later we will discuss about the principal focus and focal length. Hey guys, do you remember principal focus in case of spherical mirrors? Say, how did we got to know our principal focus in case of mirrors? Same way, we have to get a principal focus in case of convex lenses also. So what is a focus, guys? Actually, it is a point on a principal axis. Say principal axis of convex lens is this, principal axis of concave lens is this. So it is a point on a principal axis where refracted rays come and meet, isn't it? Say that's what we call principal focus. Okay, say first let me write its definition. It is a point on a principal axis where refracted rays meet. Yes or no? So such a point is called focus. It is represented with a letter F. Okay, so wherever refracted rays are meet up, their image formation actually takes place. In case of mirrors, you studied reflection. See, every time I am comparing a concept with mirror so that you can recall a concept and you would understand better when you compare with them. Because when you know perfectly about mirrors, this is nothing. It's just opposite. There you are speaking about reflection. Here you are talking about refraction. That's it. That's the only difference, guys. Okay. So there, what was the focus? The point on the principal axis only where reflected rays came and meet up. But here, the point where refracted rays meet is called principal focus. So let us see how refracted rays meet up in case of convex lens. Say, imagine if light rays are coming parallel to the principal axis. Okay, imagine the object is at infinity. So when the object is somewhere very far, the rays coming from the object towards a lens are parallel. Okay, most of the rays are parallel to the principal axis. Okay, the beam of light coming from a faraway object, that beam of light rays, the light rays are parallel to the principal axis. Okay, so ray is coming and refraction means it's going through the lens and the light ray has to bend, right? See, it will go through the lens and the light ray bends in this way. Okay, same way, this particular second ray which is parallel to the principal axis also goes through the lens and it bends. It bends. Bending of light, changing the direction of light itself is refraction, right? It's coming straight, parallel to the principal axis. The moment it went to the lens and it is coming outside, bent took place. This is what we call refracted rays. These are incident rays, these are refracted rays, right? Fine. And similarly, even if they are parallel down to the principal axis, they bend and they go like this. Another ray I will take, bend and goes like this. So all these are refracted rays. See, they are converging at certain point, and such a point we will call it as focus. What do we call it as? Focus. Okay, so in case of convex lens, convergence of refracted rays takes place. Okay, so this is a very important point, guys. Right? So actually, that's the reason convex lens is called converging lens. Do you remember concave mirror? When you were drawing a focus point, when you were detecting a focus point, reflected rays converged. All the reflected rays, met at certain point. Right? Just this kind of convergence you have seen in case of reflection also, that is in concave mirror. Similarly, but here converging is taking place in convex lens. Okay, in case of mirror, convergence took place in concave mirror. Here converging is taking place in convex lens. I told you to keep one point fixed in your mind. Convex lens properties, or its whatever the things it will show, no, it is similar to concave mirror. There also convergence took place, here also converging is taking place. Okay, so what is the next point I will write here? So when incident rays parallel to the principal axis, hit a lens, refraction occurs, and refracted rays, what happens? Refracted rays converge at a point in case of convex lens. That particular point is what we call focus. That point is focus. Okay, got to know? Fine. And let us see how to find out focus point in case of concave lens. What is this? Concave lens. Right? And see here, what happens is, actually you put an imaginary line at the center, because this is where you will show the incident ray hitting and then refraction. Okay, see here also parallel rays are coming. Okay, object is somewhere very far, all parallel, the incident rays are parallel to the principal axis. Here what is happening here, this is how the refraction taking place. Bending of light is happening, but this is how the light is bending. Okay, so similarly another one is coming here, and that is also bending this way. And down to the principal axis, I am taking one more parallel incident ray, and that would bend downwards. Okay, see, the rays below the optical center, all these rays are bending downwards, and all the rays above the optical centers are bending upwards. You can observe that very clearly here, right? See, these rays are above the optical center, they are bending upwards. These rays are below the optical center, they are bending downwards. So what is happening here? Diverging of refracted rays, right, are observed. All these points, note it down, it's very, very useful for you. Okay, are observed in concave lens. Okay, so actually we want some meeting point for the refracted rays. Refracted rays should meet at one point, right? Only then that point we will call it as focus. And whenever a refracted rays meet, only then image formation takes place. At that point, image is formed, right? So here the rays are diverging, but where are they meeting? Right? An imaginary projection you can do. Say you can drag a refracted ray, right? This is your principal axis, right? Say I am just projecting those refracted rays, right? Say this is refracted ray. All these refracted rays, if I project backwards, they are meeting here, right? So such a point I am calling it as focus here. Right? See, they are not meeting, actually they are diverging. But at this point, they are appearing to meet. Yes or no? So if I project back these lines, if I extend these lines backside, this side the refraction is happening, the other side, the opposite side where refraction is happening, that side they are appearing to meet. These rays are appearing to meet. So such a point we are calling it as focus here. Okay, say since the rays are diverging, and this is called diverging lens. Okay, this point we have already mentioned before. This is a diverging lens. Since you have observed the convergence here, this is called converging lens. Okay, so these words are very, very important to remember. So actually here refracted rays are not meeting, but they will appear to meet on the other side where refraction is happening. What's happening here? This side refracted rays you found, this side only they are all meeting. Okay, but here this side refracted rays are there they are not meeting. They are meeting somewhere backside imaginarily. Yes or no? Say this particular thing appearing to meet, all this where we have studied, in which mirror we have studied. We have studied this in convex mirror, right? So here the concept is similar to convex mirror. Say here the image, what type of image can you expect here? See here, refraction is happening this side, but they are meeting backside, right? So backside, when they meet backside, something like this, appear to meet, always virtual. With convex mirror, you will always get virtual image, and virtual images are always erect. Okay, and this is actually similar to the concave mirror. In concave mirror, what images you will prominently get? See, the side where refraction is happening, the same side they are meeting also, right? Say here, here you will get real images. Okay, real images are always inverted. Okay, anyway, all this we will discuss in the next coming videos. Just try to understand. Since the refracted rays are meeting, the side where they are forming, always you have seen in the concave mirror, right? Say in front of the mirror only reflection is happening, the reflected rays are meeting, then such a image that has formed in front of a mirror, we called it as real, right? Same way you compare here, refraction is happening this side, there only they are meeting, so the image formed in this case is always real. But here they are meeting behind. Refracted rays are here, but they are meeting behind. So behind only image is formed. The one which is formed behind something is a virtual image. So virtual and erect images you will find here. In case of convex lens, real and inverted images you will find. Anyway, we discuss this later. So this point is also very important. In case of convex, convergence takes place. In case of concave, what happens? Divergence takes place. Okay, and the point where the refracted rays are meeting, that is what we call focus. And now two focuses are possible actually here. See, incident rays were coming from this side, here refraction took place, here all of them met, that point we called it as F. Imagine if incident rays are coming from this side, refraction would happen this side, no? This side all of the rays would meet. This is another focus possible. This I call it as F1, this is F2. Okay, when two center of curvatures are there, like two focuses are also possible, right? So this is F1, this is F2. Similarly, this is F1. If the incident rays, if I pass it from this side, this side refraction occurs, they diverge and they appear to meet at this side, right? So here another focus is possible, that we call it as F2, right? Two center of curvatures are there, two focus points are there, both in convex lens and concave lens. So this is C1 F1, this side F2 C2, this side C1 F1, this side F2 C2. Okay, like this you have on convex lens and concave lens. And now what is focal length? You all know very well about a focal length, right? So what is a focal length? It is the distance between optical center and focus. Okay, so distance between O and F. O is optical center and F is focus, is called focal length. This distance is a focal length, and this distance also, even this is another focus, right? Optical center and focus is a focal length, right? So that's all about today's video. Revise all of them very, very carefully, because this is a very basic point, and all these terms you must understand. You must know where to put C1, F1, O, F2, C2, everything, right? So only if you know these components very well, you can understand the image formation by the spherical lenses, which we will study it in next video. Okay, so let us study the ray diagrams in the next video. Till then, revise the concept carefully. If you have any doubts on a concept, post it in the comments. We will try to give the answer to our best. And do subscribe our channel to learn the concepts in a easiest way and in a detailed way. Thank you so much.